Hello YouTubers, and welcome back to the Dennis Bloodnok Channel. Now, some of you may know that in January of 2015 I purchased my first full frame camera, a used Nikon D700, and here it is. But you may also know that with that camera I also purchased a used 24-85mm F3.5-4.5 lens, and this particular lens is the subject of this video. I'm very happy with the still images that I have created from this camera and lens combination. But how good is this lens if shooting with a higher resolution camera, and how good is it for creating video? Well, let's get through the introduction and let's find out.
Hello, I'm Rue.
Hello, I'm Denise.
Hi, I'm Lily.
And welcome to the Dennis Bloodnok Channel.
Well, YouTubers, here is the aforementioned 24-85mm f3.5-4.5 lens, but here it is with my latest DSLR, the Nikon D780. Well, YouTubers, this is a test of the 24-85mm f3.5-4.5 zoom lens. Now, at the present moment, we are shooting at 24mm, so the widest angle, and we are shooting at an aperture of f5.6. So see what you think of the amount of background that you are actually getting in this image. And now we are fully zoomed in at 85mm. So again, see the change in the background and in the actual area that is covered by the lens. Well, YouTubers, the material for the Dennis Bloodnok channel is often shot with the 50mm f1.4 lens, but at f2.8, which gives good focusing and a good background blur. Well, right now we are shooting with the 50mm lens at f2.8, so see what you think. But of course, to give a fair comparison to the 24-85mm lens, we need to shoot at an aperture which is achievable on both lenses. So we have now moved to f5.6, but we are still using the 50mm f1.4 lens. So see what you think. So we now start with a comparison of the 24-85mm lens, but in this case we are at 50mm focal length and an aperture of f5.6. So again, see how this looks, see what you think. Now, the second lens that we use for the Dennis Bloodnok channel is the 85mm f1.8 lens, again shot at an aperture of f2.8, which is where we are right now. So again, see what you think. And again, we have now moved to f5.6. So once again, an aperture which can be achieved on the 24 to 85mm lens. So let's switch to that lens and see how things compare. And finally, we have moved to a focal length of the full 85mm, still on the 24 to 85mm lens, but as I say, this is now at full zoom. So again, see what you think of the video quality, the image quality of this video. But of course, to give a fair comparison to the 24 to 85mm lens, but in this case we are at 50mm focal length and an aperture of f5.6. So again, see how this looks, see what you think. And again, we have now moved to f5.6. So once again, an aperture which can be achieved on the 24 to 85mm lens. Full zoom. So again, see what you think of.
Hi, I'm Ree. Hello, I'm Denise.
Hi, I'm Lily.
And welcome to the Dennis Bloodnok Channel.
I bet you're a bit disappointed, aren't you, lads?
Hello YouTubers, and here we are for the indoor part of this test. At this point we are shooting with the 50mm f1.4 lens, the constant focal length lens, the fixed focal length lens, and we are shooting at an ISO of 500. We are in 4K, 1/30th of a second shutter speed, and we are shooting at an aperture of f2.8. So see what you think of the image quality and see what you think of the background blur in this part of the test. Well, YouTubers, here we are, now having moved from f2.8 to f5.6 and having increased the ISO to 1000, but everything else is still the same. So it's still the 50mm fixed focal length lens, and we are still shooting in 4K at 30 frames per second. So again, see what you think with regard to the image quality and the background blur. Well, YouTubers, here we are with the 24 to 85mm lens, shooting at f5.6, 30 frames per second, 1/30th of a second shutter speed in 4K. So again, see what you think when you compare this to the f5.6 on the 24-85mm lens, when it is also set to 50mm focal length. Anyway, YouTubers, I think that the Nikkor 24-85mm F3.5-4.5G lens produces some amazing still and video images. And for the relatively low price of this particular lens, I think it's great value for money, and it gives you a relatively short distance, sort of somewhere between 2.5 and 3 times zoom. So it does give you some flexibility there. Anyway, many thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and Dennis Bloodnok will return in the next video. Thank you.